Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards.
Welcome to another episode of Chattin with Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards. If you ever see your mechanic dressed like this, just know your car is coming back with a fuzzy steering wheel, okay? Today we are chatting about car care. So I have to ask you guys, have you ever heard a weird noise coming from your car and you just turned your music up, or you saw your dashboard light come on and you just said, I'm just gonna pray through it? All right, well, apparently cars don't just heal themselves. So today we're going over some simple maintenance tips that everybody, including you ladies, should know. My girl M from Carfax came all the way out here from Washington, D.C. to set you all straight. So we've got lots to get into. But before that, I posted 3 questions on my Instagram at ChelseaFox26, and you all had me cracking up. All right, but we listen, we don't judge. My first question was, finish this sentence. I knew it was time to take my car to the shop when. Now, the Veltrop Vault, who took these lovely pictures you see here, she said, first off, slay, but second off, back in the day, her car would make noises anytime she hit a bump. I would say that is a warning sign indeed. Deanna Tolbert said, I knew it was time to take my car to the shop when all the lights came on the dashboard, like all of them came on. I also asked, what's the longest you've ignored a dashboard light warning, hoping it would go off by itself? So Nora, one of our producers here at Fox 26, she says she has turned a blind eye for years, and that makes me believe that her light is still on. My homegirl, Chastity Misher, 13, she said, it turns off just long enough to make me think, hey, maybe it fixed itself. Right before flashing back on to laugh at her optimism. It is laughing indeed, Chaz. And then we had our homegirl, Jen, from Jen and V. She said her warning light keeps going off and on, so she just assumes it's a mechanical error on the dashboard's part. It's been doing this for 3 months. She said it is on now. She's been ignoring it, saying to herself, oh, it's going to go back out again. My last question I asked was, what is something that you wish someone would have taught you about taking care of your car? Flore Aesthetics, who's been on the show, she chimed in and said she wished somebody would have told her it's not enough to be able to afford the car note. You have to be able to afford the maintenance too. Oh my goodness. All right, so thank you for coming to chat with Chelsea.
Absolutely.
Inland.
Happy to be here.
Yes, from Carfax. We hear the name all the time. And you guys actually have a lot of Carfax, like
we do.
Real facts. Okay, so one of the interesting facts that I got from you guys was that nearly half of U.S. drivers are actually behind on their maintenance.
Yes.
Like, these people who commented are in good company, because you're just like, what is happening?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there who are behind on their major services, and this comes from, let's say, your brakes or your engine, your fuel efficiency, like the air filters, for instance, and the steering. So all of these pieces and big components of your car, people are just not really paying attention to it, at least not enough people. So we want to make sure that people understand when they have to get these done, make sure your car is sound and ready for those road trips this summer.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, and I feel people on this. I try to be good about my car, but I understand that we all have a lot going on, and we all have a lot to keep up with. Yeah. So outside of waiting for the warning light to come on, how should we be keeping up with all this maintenance?
So there's a lot of maintenance, right? Those oil changes, there's tire rotations, the list goes on and on and on. There's a really easy way to keep track of it. And it's not just talking to your parents or talking to your husband or your wife to make sure you know it's up to date. The Carfax Car Care app is free.
Oh, okay,
completely free, and it gives you timely reminders about when to get things checked. So because we have a lot of insights on there, your specific vehicle, Chelsea's vehicle, inside the Carfax Car Care app, you got it on your phone, it's going to say, hey, in about a month, you got to get your oil change. In about a week, you got to get your registration done. So it's these easy reminders that help you remember when to get everything done.
That is super helpful.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie there. Okay, so typically, how often do you think people should be like, getting something done on their car?
Yeah, I mean, generally there's a lot of different types of major services, kind of like we mentioned, the tire rotations, for instance, the oil changes. All of these are in recommended times. Let's say if you drive a certain amount of miles, you should get your oil change. So each car is a little bit different, but every few weeks you should be checking up on this. This is ideal.
Okay.
But of course, this doesn't always happen. So
Obviously.
we try to say for every season, you check it out. So of course, the summer's a really big one. People are going out with their families and they're making sure that they have their car put together, because here's the thing. We joke around a little bit, but when you have these recalls on the vehicle itself, it does put the driver in danger. It does put the passengers in danger and everyone else on the road as well. So we want to make sure you're up to date on your maintenance.
Yes. And the other thing, when you think about, I mean, I will probably drive my car until the wheels fall off, but but a lot of people like think about moving on, so they'll want to sell that vehicle at some point.
Yeah.
So that's also going to play a role in it as well, right?
Totally. And when you look at the Carfax report, there's going to be a list of things that happen to the vehicle. And you're a buyer. Let's say you're out there in the used car market. Prices are so high right now. You want to make sure you have the best car for you. So when you're checking out if the owner previously really took care of their car, then that's kind of a vehicle you would rather, be leaning towards if you're comparing apples to apples. Of course, when we take a look at people who are behind on maintenance, let's say, for instance, oil changes, 20% of people behind right now on U.S. roads, 30%, around 30% behind on tire rotations. If you're buying a car, you want someone who's put everything in at the right time, because of course, let's say you don't get your oil changes on time, that could ruin the engine.
Yes.
That could cause failures.
Yes, I learned that the hard way. Sam.
Now I want to know that story.
Well, we do have to take a break. I will come back with that story, okay? All right, you guys will be right back with more car care that you got to know about right after this. Welcome back. We are getting our hands dirty today talking about car care. Now, I was sitting with him and we were talking about not keeping up with maintenance. So, okay, no judgment zone. Okay, no judgment zone. So my first car, I did not know that I was supposed to get the oil change.
Oh no.
So we can blame my parents for that, because they just like handed me the keys and they're like, oh,
pointing fingers.
God, we don't have to drive you anywhere anymore. So I had no idea.
Yeah.
So now it's just like now I do stay on it because of that experience, burning out a whole transmission.
Oh
no. Yeah. So it is hard to hear that so many people fall behind on oil changes, because it's like, don't lose your car.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just bad for your car, it's bad for your wallet too, because whenever those things happen, it's going to cost a lot to fix.
Ooh, boy, did it. Okay. So the other thing you want people to pay attention to are the recalls.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems like we getting more recalls nowadays?
There are a lot of recalls, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Nationwide, our last check for Carfax data was that there was about 56 million recalls on vehicles in the U.S. that are driving around right now. Right now.
So what are some of the recalls that you've been seeing?
Yes, so big recalls that we're seeing, for instance, the park outside recall. So these are the three major ones that we're looking at. Park outside, do not drive in Takata airbags. But most recently for park outside, just a few weeks ago, there was a huge one from Stellantis. And essentially what happened there was that it increased the park outside recalls by about 50%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, because I originally remember hearing about, okay, these cars need to park outside, which is wild to me.
Right, and it's because those manufacturers, and let's say NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, believe that those vehicles could catch fire.
Wow.
At any point.
So we're talking about if you have this in your garage, then
Exactly.
If it went up.
Exactly.
Like, oh my goodness.
Other big one, do not drive.
Yeah.
That one's exactly what it tells you not to do.
Okay, don't ignore it like you ignore the warning lights. Just,
right, that's a big one.
Don't drive it, okay?
Yes, don't drive it. Get it towed immediately and get that fixed right away.
Wow, and so they will pay for that, right? That's
right.
Okay,
Yes.
Good to know, because people, I'm going to try to make it. Okay, all right. So how are people supposed to be keeping up with these recalls as well?
Recalls, initially those manufacturers will send out those little, newsletters to to make sure people know, but it's easy to miss that, right? Like you're busy, you're at home, you can miss that in the mail. There's a lot of mail that comes in.
Yes, or if you change your address since you bought the car and never updated it, they may not even
It may not get there. So 2 ways to do it. Number one is the Carfax Car Care app. That's going to show you whether or not you have a recall on your vehicle for free.
Okay.
The other way immediately, if you want to check it out right now, is carfax.com/recall. Again, free. You can check whether or not your recall is on that vehicle, which could be yours, a family member, your daughter, your son, your mom, your neighbor. You could check out those recalls because it's really important.
Yeah, and then you said the airbag one as well.
Yes.
That one feels like it's been going on forever.
Forever, and yet people are not fixing it. So this started back in 2014.
Wow.
And this was one of the largest recalls we had ever seen. And the Takata airbag, essentially what happened there was once they were in the vehicle already, the manufacturer realized, ooh, this is a danger. These types of airbags could explode with so much force, it would send the shrapnel flying into the cabin of the vehicle. And that could be potentially life-threatening. So they issued the recall many years ago, about 12 years ago, and we're still seeing just around 5 million vehicles that have Takata airbags on the roads right now. You want to check immediately whether or not you have that recall.
Wow. Yes, please take care of that, y'all. Okay, don't ignore it. And then when it comes to selling again, like when you want to sell your vehicle, like these have to be taken care of.
Absolutely. Like they actually have to be. It's legally required at many times to get those recalls fixed beforehand. And sometimes when you're selling to like a dealership, the dealership will then get it fixed before they sell it to someone else. But definitely you don't want to buy a vehicle that has many recalls on it. It can be difficult to get fixed if you don't know where to go, or if you don't know the information, if you don't realize there's a recall on it. So you want to make sure you have 3 steps to do before you buy a car. 1, get the history on that vehicle. You can get that through the Carfax report, for instance. Get an inspection from a mechanic before you buy.
Yes.
Because you can get those. It's just a few. It could be maybe $50, but you can take it. They should let you take it to a mechanic. That trusted mechanic can look through it, and they have a trained eye to see what's right and what's wrong with the vehicle. And then the other third big thing that most people do, but in the age of online, people may be overseeing it, is to test drive the vehicle.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So that is really important because if you start the car and then those lights are coming on.
Right, exactly. Or if you hear something that's not, supposed to be there, you can flag that.
Yes. Great ideas. Thank you so much. Really important information for buyers, sellers, everybody driving around right now. Anything else you want the folks to know?
Just check whether or not you have a recall on your vehicle. That's super important, especially if it's one of the big ones that we keep watching for. And then of course maintenance. During the summer, you don't want to be stranded on the side of the road with your family. So you want to make sure you have all of those things right with the vehicle, have the right pieces and in your vehicle itself. Like for instance, an emergency kit, a flashlight, jumper cables, chargers, blanket, for instance. Just in case something happens, you have that in your vehicle. So a lot of little tips there to remember while you go on the road this summer.
Good stuff. Stay prepared and stay ahead of all the recalls and the maintenance. Thank you so much, Em. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we are going under the hood of some vehicles to walk you through oil changes and all those other things you should be doing. All right, we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. We've been chatting about how to keep your vehicle up to date, but today is also about helping the ladies feel more confident when it comes to car care, whether that is keeping up with those oil changes or making sure your tires are good. So we took a trip out to Manville to see my bestie Kendra, who works at Big Star Ford, where there are lots of women working behind the wheel. Kendra, you've been in the vehicle service game for 30 years. You didn't even have a women's restroom to go to when you started in this industry. How would you describe things now?
They've definitely changed. It's more women getting more involved in working on cars, being service advisors, managers. So it's definitely changed a lot. We still have some room to grow, but we've definitely changed a lot. And it helps with our customers to have somebody they can feel that they can talk to and share that they may not understand everything, but we're here to help them to understand their vehicle.
And you say it's really important that women especially know how to take care of their cars. You will even help a woman on the side of the road learn how to change a tire. So what are some other things that you've done to help educate?
I've helped Girl Scouts earn their Girl Scout car badge. They get to learn how to change a tire, look under the vehicle. We're starting a program for the teenage girls just starting to drive and educate them on car care and maintenance. We want them to be safe too.
Yeah, so important. All right, so I will admit I've had a light on my dash on for quite a while. So I want to learn more about vehicles today. Let's start there.
I'll be happy to show you what some of those lights mean.
Yes. So tell me about these warning lights.
So we have a check engine light. That can be it's an emission light. It can be an indicator of a gas cap being loose or major engine issues. We have your battery light, which is a charging system issue. It doesn't indicate always that the battery is a problem, but it's the charging system. So you also want to get that looked at. We have a temperature light, which would indicate if you go to overheating. And that is definitely something that you want to stop and get it looked at right away.
So that's why we need to do our routine maintenance, right?
Correct. Routine maintenance is your oil changes, tire rotations. Oil changes recommended every 5,000 miles. So at that time, you want to do your tire rotation as well. Some manufacturers offer 5,000 to 7,000, but you don't want to go over that. It's imperative your oil being changed gets rid of the dirt and lubricates your engine. You don't want to go too long because it can create problems down the road. Tire rotation prolongs your tire wear, so you don't want to have uneven tire wear due to that.
I've also had my battery die on me, but it seems like people don't carry around jumper cables anymore.
That's correct. We have these jump boxes now. They're portable, they're easy to keep in your vehicle, so you can get these online, super easy.
Okay, how do we get a jump going?
So you turn on the power, you have the power, it lights up. On your battery, it says positive and negative. You don't want to jump them wrong.
Or else
it will fry all the modules in your car and you're looking at a lot of money.
All right, so pay attention.
Now that was a clean battery. This is a battery that's been leaking. It's got corrosion, and that's not a good thing.
Ooh, okay, so can't we just pour Coke over it to clean all this off?
They used to do that, but then we see you're gonna create ants, ant leads to rodents, and then you start having a mess underneath the hood, and you don't want to have that. A good practice, just to make sure that it stays clean, you can have hot boiling water and you would just pour it on the terminals.
Okay.
And it just melts it away. Another tip, if there's a lot of corrosion or the battery is swollen, you can see it swell and it smells like rotten eggs, you don't want to jump it. There's a possibility that that battery could explode.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
All right, what about when it comes to fixing a flat on the side of the road?
So most vehicles have their spares in the back, and it gives you all the tools that you need. So you have your donut and you have your jack to be able to do that.
Okay, so let's see how this works.
Let's do it. So this is the jack, and it has a little lip for you to be able to put right where it fits underneath on the body seam. And then this tool, you use this, it's for your lug nuts and to go ahead and lift the vehicle. This, if you have hubcaps, you can just pop those right off.
All right, and then this part.
This actually serves as another tool to take off the lug nuts. And a lot of vehicles have wheel locks. You should have your key inside your glove compartment, center console area. And what this does, it takes off the lock. The lock is on there for a deterrent of your wheels getting stolen.
Okay, so you don't come out and your car is on bricks.
Yes.
Got it.
Without this, you're not taking off that. And it serves the same purpose, to be able to take it off.
So as women, we may not have the same upper body strength to be able to loosen these up. So what do you do?
We have to use our whole body to really lean into it, to really break it down.
Okay.
Once it's broken, then you jack it up. From here, we can also keep an eye on our tire tread. This is an example of a good tire. You put the penny upside down for Mr. Lincoln and his head will slightly disappear.
Okay.
Over here, we have a worn tire and you can see his head is exposed. And then you have the wear indicator to let you know that your tires are super bald.
Oh, so this line right here.
That line right there, and it will show you. If you see that, you need new tires.
Ah, okay.
Also, your brake pads are located right here. If you hear a squealing or a grinding noise, you want to get that looked at as well.
So other than the tires, is there something else that we can check ourselves?
So anything that's indicated in yellow, you can check yourself. So you have brake, oil, and coolant.
If we do have to get our vehicle serviced, what are some things that we need to keep in mind?
You always want to get a written estimate. You want to ask questions. That's the key. It's okay to ask questions. Like I said before, we are more women in the field, and I want you to feel comfortable to be able to ask the questions. Verify the repairs before you leave to make sure everything was addressed that you had any concerns with.
And you got to keep records, right?
Records are important.
What if you get a full list of all kinds of things that need to be done?
You can ask what needs to be done first. Prioritize. Everybody has budgets, and you can check down that list and they can tell you what is priority. You can also ask them if there's coupons on your manufacturer's website or any kind of value pack that you can save money that way. A lot of people don't know that most manufacturers have an app on your phone that connects to your vehicle. You can monitor your oil level, your fuel level, schedule maintenances, roadside assistance. You can even earn rewards with it, and that can translate into dollars for repairs or even purchases of a new vehicle.
Thank you, Kendra, because we don't want to be stuck on the side of the road anywhere as
Absolutely.
sexy as we are. Man, she's so good at her job. I learned so much. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you, Big Star Ford. We are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. Thank you to Kendra. Thank you to M. Got so many tips today. You guys have got to be a part of this conversation. Feel free to respond to my questions I asked over on YouTube, Chatting with Chelsea. Subscribe while you are there. Click that bell. And keep up with me on Chelsea Fox 26 on social. And don't forget to join the conversation there as well. Wardrobe provided by Curzar Cache Boutique. And we'll see you on the next Chatting with Chelsea.